Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off giving honor and glory, and praise and worship to our power. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachahakodash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, bishops, great millstone, we will. Peace, citation to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Khadash, representing the GMS branch here in Cleveland. Lord willing, to bring out a quick and edifying lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, yeah, man. Just real quick through the spirit. The title of the spirit gave me was guard up your minds. Guard up your minds. Okay. Guard up your minds. When you think about in battle, we will guard up our loins, right? Because the scriptures say that's one of the words it actually uses. But we will gird up our garments. All right, because when you fighting, you have to, you want to leave as little space for grapple or tangling, or man didn't have long hair, your hair would get caught, or you tie your garment so it wouldn't be a distraction, so that you could focus on the battle at hand. All right, and that's how also another way we the people. Because that's what a nigga do. Only a nigga, an Israelite man, woman, or child. All right, only an Israelite, when they're fighting, they pull up their shorts. Right? They pull up their shorts. That's like, in a sense, them girding up their loins for the battle. And so the Lord is requiring for us to gird up our loin, right, of our mind. So we were tying any outside distraction, because we're in a fight. If we have all these loose ends, it could be a distraction and it could be a hindrance to the battle, and we get consumed in the battle. So I typed in "gird up your mind" KJV in Google, and this is what it popped up. Let's see what it say. I didn't read this, all of it. I just read the top part. Let's see what it say though. Excuse me. It says, "Gird up your loins of your mind." 1 Peter 1:13 is a metaphorical call to action, meaning to discipline your thinking, eliminate mental distractions, and prepare for spiritual service. All right, that's now, and as well as, because the battle is now. We've been in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Remember, you got proxy wars, and then you got bigger wars. All right, we've been in the fight, so the biggest fight is coming. The spiritual service is it says prepare for spiritual service. You could liken that into what? The times we're coming into. The times we're coming into. The times we're coming into. Being the most spiritual time on the planet, man. The toughest time on the planet. You got to gird up your mind, the loins of your mind. You got to be disciplined, and you got to eliminate outside distractions. Get tighter than ever. Get sharper than ever. All right? When it's close to game day, when it's close to the fight in boxing or whatever sport you could think of, you have to be locked in more than you ever was during training. Because the fight is about to begin. All right? Even in the beginning stages of your training, you might still been eating this. You might have still had a beer or two, some wine. But like, I was watching an interview from Donovan Mitchell, one of the Cavs players, Cleveland Cavaliers, NBA team. He said, one thing he had said, he was like, I don't get to enjoy, going out with my people and having a drink of wine and this and that. He said, I'm not able to enjoy that right now. He was saying that because they was asking him questions about different things pertaining to the playoffs and his roles and what he doing. Because he got to keep his body tight. He can't have nothing slow him down. He got to be in full force. He got to be in full go. He got to be in full throttle. He need all of his mental capacity, all right, when it comes to what? When it comes to battle. That's him girding up his mind, the loins of his mind. Let's see what it says, the metaphor. In ancient times, people wore long garments that hindered fast movement. See? I didn't know I was going to say that. Girding up the loins meant gathering those robes and fastening them with a belt to run for work. Right? And the time we're coming into is called Jacob's trouble. All right? It's called Jacob's trouble for a reason. So you got to be prepared to go through trouble. I went to this word before. Trouble produce mental agitation. See? So you got to get ready to guard up your minds, the loins of your mind. Why? Because the time of trouble is actually dealing with mental agitation. Agitation is what? A state of extreme unpleasant arousal, tension, or irritability, often characterized by excessive, non-productive motor activity. But that's the point. A state of extreme unpleasant arousal. That's the time we're coming into. The scripture talk about man's hearts failing them. What do you mean? Think the word heart mean? Heart means la'ah, which means the mind. Man's mind is going to be failing them. Things you want to do, you're not going to be able to. The things you don't want to do, you're going to do. Just like we are now. The world is going to experience this here soon. They're going to want to have to. They're going to try to pray to the Lord, and they're not going to. Hey, the Lord ain't going to hear them. You know, they might try to do this or that. Might try to go back to their house. They at work and go back to their house to go to their food that was stocked up. Nope, they're not going to be able to. It's going to be for the men of the Lord. And so forth and so forth. All that training they did, nope, they're not going to be able to use it because the Lord is going to put, like I said, this highest spiritual time ever known to man. And these niggas, every form of man, the way they, every way the man thinks on earth, every form that he is going to be displayed in Jacob's trouble. Because it's going to be a mental agitation. Agitation is a shaking. It says this agitation is it says the physical sense of agitation, the state of being shaken or moving violently. And the Lord is about to shake violently the earth. That's what the scriptures say. So you got to gird up your mind and spiritually right now, because you're not going to be able to gird up your mind during that time. You got to be prepared for the battle already. Again, trouble produce mental agitation or emotional turmoil, inflict suffering on, to disturb, make cloudy, stir up, mix right. People's thoughts are going to be cloudy. Scripture say man's heart, it says friends find friends like enemies. It says what the scripture talking about, damn, because when you go to the word, it goes into cycle. I'm drawing a blank right now, but oh yeah, man's heart's waxing cold. You go to that word cold, it goes into psycho, right? So these people's minds are gonna be fucking man, their minds are gonna be fucking turned upside down, man. That's why I said friends fight friends like enemies. People ain't gonna know how to think, move, nothing. So if you got friends fighting friends like enemies, that means that they're gonna be coming for us. People you thought was close, nah. You gotta remember, they don't got the Lord. They don't got the Spirit of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They don't got the Spirit of the Lord, so you can't expect no good thing from a nigga, because they don't got the Spirit of the Lord. Okay? You can't expect no good thing from a nigga, man, because they don't got the Spirit of the Lord, man. So you can only relate on and rely on who? Yahweh Shema Shai. And the ones that has his spirit. Not everybody is in that category. So this is the time of Jacob's trouble, and we're gonna be touched. We're gonna experience these things. You have to understand this. Hold on, bear with me. It says, application to the mind. It calls for securing the mind against lazy, chaotic, or sinful thoughts. Right, because like I said, it can apply to now, because we're dealing with battles now. Or preparing for bigger battles, all right, in our life before the actual, the biggest battle, right? Such as you could prepare for anything, because it said one of the words it required was discipline. Ensuring one is ready for action. See, one is ready for action, alertness, and endurance. Okay. Damn. First Peter 1:13. Wherefore guard up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance, but as he which have called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation, your conduct. Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. Meaning separate. So you got to separate from the ways of this world, abstaining from your youthful lust, so that when the darkest time comes, those things don't still have a stronghold on you. The Lord is allowing us to sharpen our swords now, to be polished now. The sharpest sword is going to be the one that prevails in battle. That's a lesson. The sharpest sword is going to be the one that prevails in battle. You can't win with a dull sword. So we got to constantly sharpen our blades. When you sharpen blades, okay, when you sharpen blades, it deals with what? Let me see. What are the steps to sharpening swords? It says, sharpening a sword involves establishing a consistent 20 to 30 degree angle, typically using a bastard file for rough shaping, followed by progressively finer whetstones, coarse to fine. Maintain even pressure, alternating strokes on each side to create a balanced edge. So it says alternating strokes on each side, right? And that's what the Lord is doing for us, and this is what we're doing. We're going one way, and then we're going another way, so that we can be balanced. That's the balance. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So we're balanced. It says to create a balanced edge and finish with a leather stroke for polishing. It says preparation: secure the sword on a table surface using wood for support, and wear gloves for safety. And then, let's see. Use a coarse grit stone. Right, a coarse grit stone is a sharp stone. Designed for heavy material removal, repairing damaged blades, or setting new bevel angles on the door tools. And that's what we became. Right? How it says how has the fine gold become dim? Right? We became dull. Okay? A dull blade. And the Lord had to sharpen us back up. But the sharpening, again, for the etching and the sharpening, it took a sharp stone. Yahushua is that stone. Because you either get it repaired, you either get touched now, or you get touched later. You get touched now, it's for the refining. You get touched later, it's for the refining, but you got to get refined a different way. All right. You were proven to be material that couldn't withstand fire or etching, or here it is. Yahushua go to fine tune you etch you up and sharpen you up and clean you up and remove all the infirmities, and then you break or you deteriorate or you crumble. But the men of the Lord, the elect, they're going to withstand those etchings and those beatings and that refining and that sharp tuning. So you can understand. Move to a fine grit stone to smooth out the scratches from this coarse stone. Finish with a very fine stone or a leather stroke, sometimes with the polished paste. All right, let's see. Let me see. Fire is required. I watched this. It's this YouTube show that deal. I think it's called Forged in the Fire. Maybe for making swords. Yes, fire is essential for traditional sword making. So there you have it, man. You know? Hold up.
What up, bro? You gonna lie?
No, man.
I'm about to pull in. You can pull in there.
All right. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Fire is used for sword making. And remember, the Lord had to put us down. He had to break us. So he broke the sword, which was us. All right, our minds, and then he's building us back up, and he putting us, and he had, and it requires that fire, man. Okay, so be sober. Okay, meaning be on the watch, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, go about seeking whom we may devour. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay, you got to be vigilant. You got to be sober. Okay. All right, meaning being not tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine and things of this, the affairs of this life, man. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory from the praise and worship to our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem HaKodash. Double honors to our apostle, Elder Bishop Great Millstone. We will peace citation, hopeful like. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Shalom, beloved. Yahweh Shem Shebrekatah. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying, like we said, because why? Trouble is coming, which is a mental agitation. So making sure our minds are sharp from the emotional turmoil, so we'll be able to cut through those things that may shake us, that try to shake our minds, man. All right, so again, Lord willing, is edifying. Until next time, shalom, Bible Ball, shalom.